The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Hey everyone, it's Antenna, and you are watching the DL Show only on Dave's Guitar Channel.
Really, all it really does is tell us that there's some other laws of nature that we don't yet understand because our knowledge is limited. It's always limited. There's always a little bit more. It's sort of like thinking about that the magic of today is the science of tomorrow.
Damn, damn, damn!
All right, welcome everybody. It is Monday night, and we know what that means. We get to bore you for 2 hours.
Oh.
Speaking of boring, everyone say hello to Krellbar. Joe, how you doing today, man?
How's everyone doing?
No Hannah Bomb, but we will. We can this evening for sure. I don't know if anyone ever saw that. The government-sponsored food list, which tells you that imitation egg in oil is better than a fresh egg in butter. That Lucky Charms is healthier than a steak. And then, when I watch TV, I'm sitting there watching commercials for Rinvoq, whatever the fuck that is, and Greza, and Tresto, Vraylar. I have no fucking idea. What's amazing what's going on is they tell everybody what to eat. And people are fucking brainwashed. I mean, they are brainwashed. And yet they haven't figured out that the commercials now are all about their A1C, their blood sugar, their type 2 diabetes. It's like, wake the fuck up and change the way you eat. They're obviously wrong. They're wrong. They've been lying about everything. It's just unbelievable to me because like I said, I've never felt better. I've shaved all the weight off. I mean, I'm fucking lean. You know what I mean? And I'm eating fucking nothing but protein and saturated fats. And the weights. I mean, you saw me yesterday, Krellba. How lean am I compared to like when we first started going to lunch on Sundays?
Yeah, it's like you're up to 265 before. Now you're at what, 181?
181. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
how much off total?
Well, 65 would take me to 200, and then 19, so 84 pounds.
Hey, Bun. There you go.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fucking weight.
Yeah.
You ever look at 84 pounds in fat? It's like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, and I'm lean. I mean, I'm wearing a pair of 32 jeans that are big on me. I got, you know what I mean? It's like. I eat dairy all the time. I eat cheese on my burgers. I eat, in fact, right after. So tonight, I bought a rotisserie chicken this afternoon. So I ate that tonight for dinner. Just the skin was the fat. And I was like, you know what? I didn't have enough fat. So I had a diet root beer and filled it with heavy cream. There's nothing better than that.
See, I'm surprised you don't near stuff like diet soda.
Diet soda is just aspartame, and I don't treat myself to it often. But if it's a way for me to get pure saturated fat into me with the cream, I'll do it. But yeah, so I mean, it's insane what they're telling you. And Hannah, if you, I wish I had that list. A buddy of mine, actually, the guy who I worked on a film for, Chris Bell, who did the movie Bigger, Stronger, Faster. Chris is the one who started Carnivore like a year and a half. When I saw how lean he was on it, I've been following his posts, and I'm like, wow, he's, it might be. And then I studied into it and looked into a lot of different things, and it's crazy. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm in my 20s. Like, I really feel good. It's just no aches and pains. I wake up, I'm like, I'm off to the gym. Train. Today I did chest. I decline presses, and then machine flies, and then cardio for an hour. Easy peasy. But anyways, it's disgusting when I sit there and eat lunch and watch TV, and every commercial is about a pill to help you with your metabolic syndrome. Carnivore is no carbs. Yeah, I haven't had carbs. Today is day 80 for me. I'm 80 days without carbs. And it's something you have to transition to do. You have to start eating high fat, and you'll start to realize you don't want the carbs. And then I just stop the carbs, and I don't miss them at all. In fact, it's like such a non-issue to me. But no carbs whatsoever. And, and there's things like sometimes I'll make a quesadilla with cheese and chicken, and the quesadilla shell is made from egg whites. It's called Egg Life Wraps, and they're no carbs. It's great. It's great. But like I said, I feel fantastic. My weight is down. I went to get my blood work the other day, and my doctor wasn't there. They were like, "Oh, we canceled you." I'm like, "Why?" "Well, he's out of town." I'm like, "Well, you didn't send me a message." "Oh, we did." "Well, if you did, I wouldn't be here." You always send me a reminder, like if it's like 100 reminders, but whatever. I go as high fat as I can, Cheech. I don't go anything lean. If you go lean, you're going to crave carbs because you need something in your body to run off of, and you can't run off protein. So I run off fat. So the fat is what I'm using in place of protein. And fat is what I'm using in place of carbohydrates. And fat doesn't make it has no insulin response. So because of it, you don't spike your insulin, you don't put on fat, you just lose weight. And there was a doctor years ago who did a study about this who said, I don't count calories. I don't care how many calories I'm eating. Some days I'll eat 2,000. Some days I'll eat 4,000. Doesn't matter. I don't count.
The great thing on this list, and I posted a link in the chat.
Okay. There's the lit.
At the top, something healthy for you is chocolate-covered almonds, but at the bottom, what's not healthy for you is almond M&Ms. That's the same fucking thing with a different name.
It's the candy shell.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on.
And now keep in mind, a whole egg fried in butter is in the red, but an imitation egg fried in egg substitute fried in vegetable oil, that's healthier. Honey Nut Cheerios is in the green, meaning it's good for you. Ground beef is at the bottom. And I love my favorite thing is the frosted mini wheats. Which this kind of cereal back in the day in Calvin and Hobbes, he called the frosting coating sugar bombs. Right? Frosted coating sugar bombs. Get the fuck out of here. It's fucking insane, Hanoi Bomb. Hello, Ricky. Hello, Michael JB, Papa Blue, Cheech, everyone else.
Yeah.
Watermelons at the top with kale. Yeah, let me go fuck myself with some watermelon and kale. But if I want a boiled egg,
right, with protein, all the essential amino acids, and all the essential fatty acids in that egg, that's not good for you. Let's give you something that's empty calories, what we call, there's absolutely nothing in that food. But there's nothing in the food. There's no vitamins. There's no anything. I mean, it's basically they're either in the industry to make you take giant dumps because you're not there is no nutrients in that food. It's just crazy. Anyways, that's the insane world we live in.
You have to understand the same scumbags that think the world is overpopulated by about 7.5 billion people are the ones putting this shit out. It all comes down to the same scumbags.
They all have the same. They all have money in Pfizer.
Breast is sandwiched between Lucky Charms and the egg substitute, skinless chicken breast.
Yeah, which is garbage.
It's still not good for you. It's in the yellow.
No, I mean if you don't have it with fat, it's just protein, but it's definitely better than the surrounding products.
I wish they would make boneless skin chicken breast.
Let me compare this for everyone. Let me give because I know everyone here knows guitars. Ground beef is at the bottom, right? But frosted mini wheats is at the top. That's like me saying right now a custom shop Fender is not as good as a Glary Strat for 100 or 88 bucks. There's the comparison everyone can get.
Right. And the thing is, the people that are putting this list out have money in big pharma like Pfizer, who's selling all these fucking bring your A1C down. Well, why is your A1C high? Well, let's see, because you have insulin resistance, and all you keep doing is jamming your body with this fucking processed food.
Janice.
It doesn't take a genius to figure it out, folks. I do. I take C, E. I take calcium, magnesium. No, not calcium. Magnesium, zinc, and copper. And I take a bunch of stuff. But that stuff I've always taken anyway. I don't take it because I'm doing carnivore. But yeah.
Let me ask a question about that.
The diet is really what the trick is.
I'm glad you asked that question. I was taking a daily. In the morning I was taking a zinc. Then I would take fish oil with a daily vitamin. I'd take a vitamin D. I've cut back now on that and doing one day, one the other day. I took a piss and it was like the fucking predator's. It was glowing like the predator's blood. So I figure, what else could it be?
Yeah.
I do zinc.
Yeah, I was getting too much. Well. What do you think? What's your expert?
That's you. If you're pissing really dark yellow, you're pissing out vitamins.
B12
no, it wasn't dark
that.
yellow. It was fucking fluorescent fucking yellow.
Yeah, but that's vitamins. That's your body not absorbing the vitamins.
B12 does that.
Yeah. Well, anything you don't absorb will do that. If you're absorbing it and using it, your piss will be like, almost clear.
Not with the amount of coffee I drink during the fucking day.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I do a ton of
that's good, Ricky. Yeah. So it's just incredible, folks. But I'm telling you, what should get you angry is the billions of dollars of marketing to let you know that it's okay to be fat. It's okay to be unhealthy. Just take this to get your A1C down. I've got my type 2 diabetes in check. And she's eating like a sub. Oh, I'm having a salad. Oh, fuck yourselves.
You sound like Carol Channing. I'm having a salad.
Well, that's me doing the plate voice when somebody has dentures. Oh, when I used to wait tables, I used to wait tables in the 80s. And it was like a place where lots of old people came during the day. And so many ladies, when they had a plate, would be like, oh, let me have a salad. Everybody was Carol Channing. Oh, Meryl. That's fucking great. All right, folks, that's me enough. And Chuck would also be on the boat. He's going to be a little late, but Chuck would also be on the same boat with this because Chuck has done carnivore. I think he's now 23 weeks in. He's 2 days over 3 weeks, and he says he feels like he's mad at me for not talking him into it earlier. Is what he
kind of went off it yesterday, though. He had some meatballs.
Oh, did he eat a few meatballs?
Yeah, a few. I think he realized there's a little bit of breadcrumbs in there, but
oh yeah. Well, sometimes people make it without them. They make them just pork, beef, and I don't know. The chef was over there, so I don't know if he talked to him or. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. Anyway, so anyways, that's something to think about, folks. just something to look into. There's some great doctors on YouTube who have some videos. A lot of people talk to me about Gundry, Dr. Gundry, and I'm not a fan of Dr. Gundry because he has something to sell in every video. And, it's like when people talk about the carnivore diet, they're like, listen, you go out. They're not selling you anything. They're saying, go out and eat it. It's there. It's all natural foods. Go buy it and eat it. There's not a product they're selling you. So it doesn't come with like, a couple of years ago, someone reached out to me, this girl I know on Facebook. I grew up with her actually. And she was like asking me, what are you doing? What are you doing for supplements? And she was in some pyramid scheme, like these pyramid supplement companies.
Yeah.
Oh, I work with Regenex, whatever. I mean, that's not the name of it. I don't know what that was called, but I'm with Regenex and I want to sell you this. Oh yeah, Dr. Gundry. He's great to listen to. He tells you how important olive oil is for you. And then he sells you a tiny bottle for $40. Well, let me tell you, if I'm selling $40 olive oil, I'm going to tell you how fucking important it is that you must take it. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. Let me just say hi to Dane real quick. I like the T-shirt. It's got the 45 plug on it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I like that.
Old T-shirt I got.
I remember when Dr. Jeremy used to push the Extends pills late night.
Yeah. But there are some good doctors. If you want to see some great doctors, look up Dr. Chaffee. I can't believe I'm blanking on his first name. Andrew Chaffee, maybe. But Chaffee is a carnivore doctor. He's a surgeon. He's been carnivore for 22 years, and he's got a lot of information because he studied all the plant shit about cancer, and he's a great a wealth of information. Again, not selling you anything. So it kind of, and he just lives the life, and it's refreshing. Now that being said, and now that Dane's here and Chuck still isn't here, it's good that Chuck's not here. I wanted to talk a little about guitars today because I saw Dane do a video where he looked at a guitar, and it's made by several YouTubers, if you will say. I would say fellow YouTubers, but they're YouTubers. I mean, they're not my fellows. I never spoke with either one of them personally, so I don't know them.
Hey, fellas.
So what happened? Tell the story, Dane, because we don't know. Krell Bob brought it up to me and Joe today. We never saw it, and we had to look it up real quick.
Okay, well, the Tone King, who basically is kind of the godfather of YouTube videos because he's done it since, I don't know, he's in it at like 14 years now or something.
Yeah. Okay.
But the Tone King and Philip McKnight, who actually is a neighbor. He lives in the next town over, so he's like 15 minutes away from my store. And so they've decided, kind of a long story, but during COVID, they were kind of like, man, I wish I could go online and find myself like a USA gunslinger or something. And this is mostly the Tone King because McKnight's a younger guy, and he doesn't care too much about the guitars from the 1980s. He likes the more modern stuff. But he's talking they're talking, and to go on Reverb and get yourself a really nice condition Jackson, USA Jackson, or a BC Rich Gunslinger or something, it's like $4,000. They're very expensive. So they were like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you could get an American-made guitar for $2,500? So
that's what Joe was saying.
Yeah, they teamed up with a couple of guys. They found a manufacturer in Southern California, and they decided to, they patented their name, and they did all kinds of stuff to make sure that it's totally a legit company and everything.
Trademarked the word.
Trademarked all that kind of stuff. And they put out Badlands Guitar Company. And there's even a Badlands guitar over in the UK or someplace, and they talked to those guys and worked it out with them. So they decided to...
they give them a $1,500 cut.
They decided to produce these guitars and make 50 of them and sell them for $2,500. And you can get one in lefty if you wanted. You can, they put, apparently they put the best.
So they're making them, they're making them to order.
Yeah. And
obviously, if you told me I can get it in lefty.
Yeah. And so they're pretty much selling them at their cost. So they're not really making money on that. Yeah,
I heard they were sold out.
You understand? I was in manufacturing at one point. That's not costing them $2,500 to make that guitar.
I can't.
No way in hell.
What's that paint job cost then? What's a paint job cost for a guitar like that?
How many are you going to do?
50.
All right. Well, that's a lot lower per paint job then, isn't it? If I'm doing a lot of 50 or if I'm just doing one. $400, $300.
Hello, Speed for Hire.
Right? I'm just saying, what would your paint job cost you? $300?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
it's not gonna. Yeah, I mean, look, everyone's in the business to make money. You know what I mean? It's just like, you've heard about the Jewish prostitute. You heard about the Jewish prostitute.
They're going to make money in the long run, but the
Jewish prostitute says she's going to charge you $10,000, but believe you me, she's not making a dime.
They're eventually going to start making money years down the road.
Well, let me explain. You pay money to get trademark. If they're doing all that stuff, there's legal shit. They got to buy stuff. Yes. So are they out more money than the price of all these guitars coming in? It's probably going to break them even.
Right.
But that's not saying that each guitar is that they're not selling the guitar at a price that's making money. They're making money, but they're making their money back. I get that.
Yeah, it's not just Phil and the Tone King. There was 9 people involved. And so
of course you got lawyers. I'm sure people are doing it. My point is, look, I wish them the utmost success. I hope they sell out of them right away, and I hope they do a second batch.
They sold out already.
Okay, so then you can't get lefty if you want. You can't get anything. They sold them out.
Right, but out of the orders that they got, they're sold out now, and it took them. Today's the 23rd, and they launched on the 18th, so it took them 5 days. But they ended up actually building 4. They got orders for 4 left-handed ones.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good percentage out of 50 guitars. So they're just really happy about it.
8%.
They're going to launch their second model in the summertime. And then their third model is going to launch January 18th of next year.
Right. Okay. Well, that's very good. I mean,
and they're trying to make them better and better and better as the years go by.
Great. So let's bring that up. So I saw those guitars, and I'm not here to piss on anybody. I think I want them to be successful as hell. And I'm glad they sold out of those, because if people are looking for that, and also it's something else. There's wanting to have buy the brand and support their YouTube guys that they like. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that go with that. And I think all that is, I mean, that's like, when people started buying Jackson guitars, they bought Jackson because Randy Rhoads was playing a Jackson, and this guy makes Randy's guitar. And that's how the downhill thing goes. Everyone, they're made in Southern California, Sean. So what happens, what I'm saying is, however, you can see some USA Charvels being made in today for about $1,500-$1,600, top loaded German Schaller, Floyd Rose, Schaller, whatever. The thing that here's the only issues that I would have with the guitar. We're past the 80s. You have a tilt back headstock. Don't put the truss rod at the top of the neck because it weakens the headstock. Gibson knows that now, and Gibson can't do anything about it because that's their design. But you're a new company. Don't pigeonhole yourself with that design, because it's going to cause you a heartache. Get a wheel in the truss rod. It's the best, most modern way to do it, and it keeps the integrity of the headstock and the scarf joint. Just going to say that. Number 2, Jessica frets are awesome. Use the fucking stainless steel frets. Nobody wants nickel steel anymore, especially in a $2,500 guitar. I do like the fact they're winding their own pickups because they're trying to make a brand for themselves. So you may as well rebrand your own pickup and make your own pickup. What I don't like is when they say things are hand wound. Everybody knows how pickups are wound. They're wound on a machine. It's like when it's like when, it's like when, what's the name of that string company that says that handmade string?
DR. DR.
No, DR says the handmade string because they guide it with their hand while it's on a machine. Yeah, your hand doesn't need to be there. Get the hell over yourself. They actually got sued for that, and they won because some court doesn't understand how the fucking world works, that they're made. Anyway, so I don't like they say handmade, but they could just say they're made. You know, they're USA made. We get it. They're pickups, they're wound. You make their pick. Oh, wherever they're made. Who even cares? If they're good pickups, they're good pickups. And I hope they are. And I hope they, become very wanted. I just think those are my only issues. I do like the top-mounted Floyd idea. I just think the truss rod issue with the headstock. And nobody wants to, when they go to adjust their guitar, take the little screwdriver and unscrew the 3 fucking truss rod covers. Then you got to put it somewhere and it's just a pain in the ass. I hate that.
They were
just
building them, though, to the specs of something from the early 80s. That was the specs they were going for.
I get it.
They didn't have the pinwheel truss rod in 83. All the truss rods.
I agree. But the point of those guitars back in 1983 to 85, 87, those were the hot-rodded, best technological guitars of the time.
Yeah.
That technology has now been, and not very much, when I say stainless steel frets and put a fucking wheel on the truss rod, that's not a lot of things to say, but they're huge things that you don't, like, let's put it this way. Let's say Ford, who made the Charger? Dodge?
Dodge.
Yeah, Dodge.
So Dodge reissued the Charger. They made a muscle car, and they still make it and produce it. Do they make it exactly the way they made it back in 1974?
They made
when
a 4-door.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is they tweaked the engine. They changed things to make it still a monster, but a monster by today's standard. They don't reissue the car with the fucking bench seat in the front and the fucking AM radio. Well, back then in 74, it only came with an AM radio. I wish I had that AM radio, said no one. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I think the truss rod is the thing. I just would say, no, you know what? As far as seeing the German Floyd on there, I don't mind Godo because I think Godo makes a fucking quality product. I do like Godo, and I have no issue with Godo. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
The one upgrade that they did do that wasn't available in 83 is they have a 3-piece quarter sawn neck where the pieces of wood are flipped up around and side to side and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And then it also has the 2 carbon rods inside the neck so that it'll never twist or anything like that. So
that's a good thing. The carbon rods are a good technological thing to do. Yeah, that's a carbon thing.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Carbon. Yeah. And
so it does have that.
And that's a good thing. I mean, if you have that, what are you doing the quarter sawn 3 thing? You don't have to do that. And a lot of people are doing like the what is the maple? They roast the maple.
Roasted maple.
That's like a new thing. I don't care if they did that either.
That's no, they didn't do that. They used something called
on the neck. They put a finish on the neck.
Yeah, it's tinted.
And all those fucking and a tint with a finish. And all those 80s guitars didn't have that finish. They were always true oiled or gun oiled. They were oil finishes.
Tennessee Mountaintop. Why'd they stop at 50? I think they stopped at 50 just to keep it that unique and that
to keep it limited and make it I understand. Then they can go back and redo it again. They could do a negative version of it where the black is the red and the red is the black.
One thing that I do know and that I am allowed to talk about is there's never going to be an imported version in the history of this company. There will never be an imported version of any of their guitars ever. If that makes, because once you go there, there's no coming back.
But let me ask you.
Let me tell you, they're going to be on the black market over there.
They're made in California, right?
Yes.
But that might as well be another fucking country nowadays. So what are you talking? I do have the customers on the phone. I said, last time I checked, California was United States. I'm like, wait, I don't know.
Only a 6-hour drive from where we're at.
Now I posted the link to the website twice. If anyone wants to see, it's a beautiful guitar. They've got the one thing I got to tell you, the website. You scroll down, it's got the full specs on there from top to fucking bottom. So good job.
Speed for hire is right.
And they're 100% transparent about where the parts are imported from. So the only thing from China is that engraved back plate that the old BC Riches had, the old Washburns had. You know, it's that big, thick.
What's that site called? Alibaba?
Yeah, I think so. Alibaba.
Yeah, Alibaba will have it on their website next week for $150.
Yeah.
I know it.
If you buy 3 of them, you get them for $75.
You'll be clones.
Glary will have the Gladlands out.
Gladly.
Glad.
The Gladlands GX1 will be out next week from Glary. And the best thing is Glary will send a fucking email to Phil McKnight asking him, hey, you wanna review this new
Will you review it for us?
Yeah, fucking he'll open it up and it'll be, wait, what the fuck is this? It's the Gladlands from Glary.
AliExpress, thank you. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's priceless. Oh,
Chuck, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
Oh man.
Good to be seen, gents. Hello. Late but better than never, you know.
That's okay. I held off the other conversation till you got here, and figured I would talk guitars while you were gone. Greg McCurtain's thinking of getting a Les Paul Standard Classic Tribute. Any one of them. I mean, if you like the guitar, if you like a Les Paul, and you can't go wrong with that. I mean,
even the Epiphone Les Pauls are fucking beautiful now.
Yeah, I watched a video where this guy reviewed that
I love.
Yeah, what's that one called? I just watched a video of a guy reviewing it.
Let me look it up. But
and let me tell you this other thing.
To get that, trust me.
Well, here's what's driving me bananas when I see videos. And again, I like Glenn Fricker. Is that his name?
Yep.
But his video says, "Here's something the pickup companies don't want you to know." Now, they don't care. The pickup companies don't care what you know because they think you're too stupid to understand it. They don't care. If they cared, they wouldn't sit there and try, like Seymour Duncan wouldn't sit there and try to tell you that this pickup's made for an ash body. Like, it's such fucking nonsense. But they don't care what you know. They don't care that he's going to make a video about it. No one cares. It's just, it's clickbait.
This is the Epiphone Les Paul Customer, 729, Alpine White, beautiful, ebony neck.
What's it called? The Epiphone what?
Epiphone Les Paul Custom.
Oh, no. This is called... No, this one's different. This one's called like either the Epiphone, the Les Paul Hot Rod, or the Les Paul. There's another name to it.
Well, maybe we got another. We got a.
I have a 60s tribute that's
59
basically
Les Paul Standard, Les Paul Special TV Yellow. There's a Jerry Cantrell.
No, keep going.
Les Paul Jr. Epiphone Les Paul. There's the Joe Bonamassa, of course.
And I used to have a 614. Those are nice.
Tommy Thayer. 16.
So what was that Epiphone called? There's another video too with his kids. Like
here's a link to every Epiphone by Les Paul right now. You pick it up.
I put Stevie Ray Vaughan strings on my guitar. Who gives a fuck? Why the hell do I care? It's the stupidest. I never clicked on it because I'm just like, so what? You put heavy strings on your guitar and that's going to make me fucking click.
Annoy. Agreed.
That stuff is geared to the 16-year-old kid that's learning how to play guitar and wondering, and all these questions. You know, I get all these questions from the kids, and so they can watch some of these videos and get some information off of that kind of stuff, and it kind of helps.
There's
me
no
from
information.
Questions.
Now,
right, it helps you.
Question.
It does. It helps me from having to answer those questions because kids watch videos.
Does anyone know what that Epiphone that I'm trying to figure out is called?
Prophecy?
No, it's like Not traditional.
I'll
tell you what color it was in.
Oh,
it was
an
in
Ultra. There's an Epiphone Les Paul Ultra.
No, hold on. I'll find it.
Hey, now, Zim, let me ask you a question. You did it. You had the guitar in your shop. I haven't
Here
watched
it is.
the
It's
video
called
yet.
the Epiphone Les Paul Modern.
Oh,
okay.
A color is sparkling.
Are they numbering them?
Sparkling burgundy. It said Sweetwater.
Well, Sweetwater always gets their own fucking run of shit.
No, this is not a Sweetwater guitar. Watch the video on this guitar, but I think this is a. If you're going to buy an Epiphone, that's the one to get. Oh, Ricky even said it. The Modern.
Where is it? Put a link.
It's huge. Hold on.
Yeah, the chat. The chat will cut it down.
I'll make a tiny URL.
What does it cost?
Oh, I'll put it in the. I'm sorry. It's
$6.49.
Oh, you see it? You pulled it up?
Yep.
Yep. Hold on. I'm putting it in the private chat. All right, it's in the private.
Where's the monitor? I lost the fucking chat. Jesus.
Papa Blue's got a question for you guys.
Oh, what's up, Papa Blue? What do you say?
Can you tell the difference between ceramic pickups and Alnico 2 and the difference between Alnico 2 and Alnico 5?
You know, it's very strange. If it's the same pickup, like, you know, he was comparing apples to oranges.
I just posted the link.
Different wines and different things. Obviously, a ceramic pickup is going to be a lot brighter. It will be a brighter sounding pickup. Does it matter? That's up to you, because when you put it through your amp and then you're EQing your amp, that's going to be your thing. Alnico 2 is going to be the darkest, and 5 will be a little bit brighter. But it also depends on how many wounds, because, like, if we're talking about a really, the reason people use ceramic is when they want a really overwound pickup, like a really high, pickup resistance. You know, they want that high output. It also will keep it brighter. But all pickups are good. I mean, I think it doesn't, like, if you like the way it responds when you play it, that's what counts. The audience, they're not going to know the fucking difference. They're going to be like, I don't know. Sounds the same to me.
Especially once you throw dirt on it. If you want to throw any kind of dirt on that.
And if the audience does not like your sound and they're like, God, I watched this band and his tone was horrible, it's probably not the pickups he was using. They're going to either say the amp wasn't any good or the guy running sound sucks.
Well, or the person playing sucks and doesn't know how to EQ his amp, because you know what's it's funny. Again, I was listening to Hellbent for Leather came on the radio today when I was doing cardio. And I'm like, my God, you know what is the worst part of that? I was thinking the guitars were really dark on that record. They're not as dark as I thought they were. They're not as bright as British Steel, which is a better sounding record. But it's that vocal, whatever reverb plate they're putting on Rob Halford on that song, it stinks. It's like, how do you put that on there and it colors the whole sound? But you know, so that's what I think. I think, like, when you plug through an amp, like Ed says, ceramics are too brittle. Yeah, if you think so, change your EQ. Bring the highs on your fucking amp down, and guess what? It's not brittle anymore. That's what I mean. So it's like, whatever. It's whatever you like, whatever you dig. And if you want to make a video and say, how can you sound like David Gilmour? It's really easier than you think. It's called Get Lessons. Forget about, oh, you need a univibe. I need a fuzz. You need lessons. Yeah, I do treadmill every day. 15 incline. I'm basically like walking almost straight up. 15 incline at 3.8 miles an hour. About 841 calories a day. But yeah, that's all I do. Actually, I'm going to bump it up because today I did it. I was like, I should be doing 3.9. So I'm probably going to go almost to 4 miles an hour. I'll be at 4 by the summer, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, people, to me, like when I buy a Strat, I think the Fender noiseless pickups are shit. I think they're the worst sounding Fender noiseless pickups. I just think they're garbage. So for the most part,
a lot of people.
Right. For the most part, I'll put a DiMarzio Area 58 in the neck and bridge. I mean, neck and middle, and a Pro 54 in the bridge, because to me, it sounds most like custom shop pickups without the noise. And so for there, I'm like, I'm okay. But, I bought a G&L. Well, they gave me a G&L, my orange one. And I asked them to put DiMarzios in it, and they just sent it to me without it. They were like, we didn't know, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. So I was like, all right, well, I'll do it myself. Anyways, I played their pickups. I'm like, I'm not fucking messing with this guitar. The thing sounds fucking awesome. Sounds great. Those MFD pickups from G&L are awesome. And also, I did want to mention, G&L is a USA company, and they will make a custom guitar for you, whatever you really want, and you're going to pay under $2,000 with a G&G case. They have great prices. So I just think that these guys...
There's Kiesel. You can get a Kiesel for under $2,000. So
right. So I'm just saying. So I think
the only ones you can get. But
no. So I'm just saying with Badlands, they got to step it up for me. But again, like if the next guitar, I want to see a better bid.
They're starting.
The graphic on that was not for me. Here's the other issue: is a lot of these guys. I mean, I'm not disparaging anyone, but when you get older, some of those graphics from the 80s, they lose favor. You love the way the guitar feels. Now you may wish that the thing looked more like a normal guitar. So if they made a guitar that was like like what that car, the Chameleon, that was a real luxury car, but on the outside it looked a driver's side door, different color, standard. So in other words, if you put like a more conservative look, but the thing's secretly a shred machine, people might be like, you're going to get a lot of 50-year-olds who go, oh, well, now this is speaking to me. And it's the feel of that guitar that I love. Because not a lot of guys in their 50s are going to go, oh, man, I wish I had the Spider-Man fucking graphic on my guitar. No, you don't.
Dave, to me, it sounds like you were in their all their meetings with them. That's pretty much all I can say about it.
I've been around the business a long time, so I know what it's called, the thumb on the pulse. I actually consulted for Gary Kramer when Gary Kramer was making those guitars. Someone like Gary did a fantastic job with those guitars, and his builder was Leo Scala. I don't know if you remember any of those, but then they brought the imports in, and I have one of the imports I ended up buying from, I got one of the prototypes.
I was just really kind of flattered that he would bring that to me when they're launching a company like that, and he's willing to drop his prototype off and say, just have fun with it. I'm like, Phil, are you sure? I might fuck things up for you guys, But he said, no, just have fun. And apparently the tone,
like Bugs Bunny when he's in drag.
Yeah,
and they're flirting with Bugs.
Video on his Instagram, and so obviously didn't screw anything up for him. So I
was talking to the girls down at the salon.
Now we know. 1 week from now, when Glary puts out the Gladlands, where they got the schematics from.
No,
exactly.
I have a lot of information that I'm not allowed to talk about.
That's all good. It's all good. We don't want you to spill the guts.
Right.
We hey, your buddy Rock Daddy's here.
Yeah, he was just in the store like a half an hour ago.
Yeah, I'll say, listen, I wish those guys a lot of success, because it's a dog-eat-dog business. And, and you know what, though? But another player on the field makes people play better. And people bring their prices down, and I'm sure they will. Trust me, they will. Because it's just that you figure it out, you feel it out. But it'll cause other people to try to step up their game, too. So... But like I said, I wish those guys the best of luck. They really I know Tone King really loves the 80s stuff, and that's what gets him off. And and I'm sure there are lots of other guys. I mean, especially the amount of guys who watch Johnny Bean's channel, who can sit and listen to people talking about Van Halen ad nauseum for fucking 400 years every night.
They love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to know when you guys are going to start going over what brand of Fruit of the Loom did anywhere as a child.
No, they're very close. They've talked about guitar straps.
Yeah, those are different. Those are different kinds of stripes, and those.
It's going to be very busy over on the Johnny Bean channel because Eddie's birthday is next week or something. It's like a major event.
Oh boy, let me get the box of tissues. We can all open weep on it. Fucking hell. Unbelievable. Anyways,
Eddie changed his amp, so he started playing Soldano, I think, for Carnal Knowledge.
That's correct.
The F album.
Yeah, he did that. He used that and the prototype 5150 on that record.
Yeah. And could you tell by listening to that album suddenly that
not at all
everything was different?
Not at all.
In his fingers,
he used to use a Steinberger at one point.
Yeah, and Summer Nights he used the Steinberger.
Yeah, it was. He had that paint on it. Looked vicious.
Yeah, it was because he uses the trans trem on the song. His song's in 2 different keys.
Oh.
The intro's in a different key with a trans trem down.
I will say that always seemed to sound thinner, but it's not because of the size of the body. It's because of the EMG pickups compared to the pickups.
Who's here that's actually had a EVH handmade thing that they put together themselves? Raise your hand if you've done this kind of thing. Any of you guys?
I put together guitars myself, but not the striped.
I actually put together a David Crosby Country Gentleman myself. I made a Frankenstein. By the way, folks, David Crosby died. That's very sad news in the music world.
Most he was he was alive.
Guys, you know something? I have to admit something.
His career died in 1972, but
a couple of months ago, we were reading off a list, and I was like, "Oh, Jeff Beck, who cares, right?" You guys were like, "What, Jeff Beck?" But no, I actually so
they canceled you on Twitter, and now you're coming back to apologize.
I've been working on this, guys. Okay, so
go ahead.
Jeff Beck died. And because I was always the guy on this channel that's like, "Oh, I don't care about Jeff Beck. Who the hell cares about Jeff Beck?" All right, so I've actually made a top 10 reasons it doesn't bother me that Jeff Beck has died. Okay.
Oh, excellent. Let's.
Comedy, okay,
no, hold on. Let me. Should I play the piano like Paul Schaefer?
Yeah. Okay.
I
hope I don't offend anybody here.
You should read the list live next week while you're pissing on his grave.
Should I? I'm asking you guys.
Go ahead. Absolutely. You want to hear this?
Read the list. Run it up.
Okay.
I want to hear this more than I want the Gladlands. Go ahead.
It does not bother me that Jeff Beck has died. Number 10, Rolling Stone magazine might finally put a player on the cover again.
Who?
Okay. What was that one?
Number 10, Rolling Stone magazine might actually put a player on their cover again next month.
A guitar player on their cover.
Oh, guitar player. Okay.
Magazine. Guitar player.
Yes, Ricky Compton. I love those. Alvarez Yaris are awesome. Go ahead.
Number 9, no chance of a Miley Cyrus collaboration.
It's a fucking joke.
Number 8, guitar shops might finally be able to sell the Jeff Beck Strats.
Maybe.
Actually, those sell.
Yeah.
These are jokes, okay?
Oh, I get it. I know. But you know what's funny is Jeff Beck likes the modern bridge, the 2-point tremolos with the square. And that is the better tremolo. He's right. And I'm glad he's like a guy that uses the tremolo a lot and says, "Hey, fuck you. I'm not using the vintage." Go ahead. I know you got more. Go ahead.
I worked hard on this. Number 7, his obituary will finally explain to us who he was. All right.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Sorry. Number wherever we're at, it will give some of his old fans a chance to catch up on new music, like Eddie Van Halen. Okay.
Okay.
Jokes.
Oh, wait a second. Is that a disparaging Van Halen? Hold on. Johnny Bean's calling in. He's up on the Van Halen joke.
Bean alert. Bean alert.
It's a birthday next week. There's a 1 week before and 1 week after grace period of no Van Halen jokes.
Number 6, I'll be able to sleep better at night without all those Jeff Beck riffs rolling around in my brain.
Terrible.
Nothing?
That's not good.
Number 3, Rod Stewart will finally get some recognition for carrying this guitar player.
Who? Rod Stewart. Okay.
Number 2, Johnny Depp has one less has-been to play with.
Awful.
Nothing? And the number 1 reason that I don't give a rat's ass that Jeff Beck has passed away. He won't ruin any more Ozzy songs.
Oh, no, that's not bad. Wah, wah, wah. Let me just say this, Dane.
Go ahead.
I will say this, and this is serious. The best thing about Jeff Beck dying is that now maybe the radio will start going back and playing deeper into his catalog.
Yeah,
because when Stevie Ray Vaughan died, when Stevie Ray Vaughan died, it was like, you barely heard a song on the radio. Then it was nonstop Stevie Ray Vaughan radio. And I remember saying to my buddies, I hope Clapton never dies. Because for the love of shit, I don't want to hear.
I scratched it off, but I had Radio might finally play one of his songs.
Yeah, that would be great.
Now he actually has a reason to be on all the top 100 greatest guitar player lists. So that was
he's a great player.
Now, Dave, I want you to do me a favor because I want to. Now that he finished the list, a lot of people have been saying that Esther Roll didn't give a fuck that Jeff Beck died. Would you show her real reaction, please?
Esther Roll, what did you say when Jeff Beck died?
Damn.
And let me tell you, when James died, she just said, that's too bad.
And let me tell you, after she did that, her YouTube viewership skyrocketed.
It really did. But you know what? Let me see if Roger cares that Jeff Beck died.
No.
Roger was more interested in Peter Allen. No, but listen, Jeff Beck was fucking great. And you know what was great? I heard his version of Superstition the other day.
That's a good version.
Yeah, it's great. He was a great player. You know what? He's very understated. And you know what? Since he died, I was starting to look back at some of his stuff. And I'm like, I think people fucking make Blow by Blow his fucking big record. I don't think that's one of his best. I think he has a lot better stuff out. And
he was he was a player's player. To really appreciate him, you got to know a thing or two about guitar.
I think he's a lot more.
Everyone's head's either going with Page or Clapton, but you have to be able to appreciate a player like that.
Well, you know who Page loved Beck.
Yeah.
Last week I was going over with a student a song 10 Years Gone by Led Zeppelin. Let me tell you, Jimmy Page was fucking brilliant.
Oh, fuck.
He really was. I mean, the clever shit that he's doing in the song is so great. The chords, the changes, everything. I think he's just great. Let me ask you guys, what do you think Jeff Beck was better? Do you think he was better in 1971 or was he better in 1977? Gentlemen, which year in music do you think is the better year in music? 71 or 1977? What albums released? Folks, if you have an opinion in the chat, let us know. 71 or 77, and post your favorite albums from that year. I'm going to go right out and say 1977 had Steely Dan Asia, just to jump out of the gate. And 71 had some huge monsters. I know Chuck and I were going head-to-head the other day on it. Chuck, what do you think of 71? Pull out a couple of your albums from 71 for us.
71, you got LA Woman. You got Zeppelin 4. You got Who's Next. I believe you got Amagama.
I think Amagama's 70.
No, it's Metal.
You got Aqualung.
Metal 71 or 2.
71.
Aqualung for sure.
We get the Marvin Gaye record there. What's going on?
Which I will say, because listen, everyone, including Rolling Stone magazine, loves Marvin Gaye. I love Marvin Gaye.
His father.
However, no, his father's the only one who didn't, so he shot him. But the thing with Marvin Gaye is What's Going On is a great record. It's got 4 songs. That's all it has is 4 songs. The rest of the album is just filler, nonsense, tie-in stuff, repeating the same thing, kind of like segues to songs. So I don't think it's a fantastic album. It's very good, but I don't think it deserves the fucking love. I'll tell you what's a better album by him was the Tammy Terrell record they did together with Ain't No Mountain High Enough, or all the Tammy Terrell shit he did. And Stubborn Kind of Fellow from 1962 is a superior album. Okay, go on. Sorry, 1971.
What else? What is
Rough and Ready, according to Ed Dana?
Master Reality 71, I believe. Or was it Volume 4?
Volume 4, I think.
No, Master of Reality is 71. Volume 4 is 72.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know there's a lot of biggies in 71.
Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones. Thank You, Rock Daddy.
I know it's a compilation, but Meaty Beaty Big and Bouncy is 71.
Stop it with the Who, will you? You're losing your argument when you mention the Who.
Look it. I know you think Zeppelin 4 is their best album.
No, I don't. I think it's the best album of 71. I think Physical Graffiti is their best album.
I would say this. If there's 9 songs or 8 songs?
There is 8 songs.
Okay. I'm gonna say at best you got 5 winners.
No.
You got 5 winners.
Folks, please start throwing tomatoes in the chat.
You can throw whatever you want. If you want to listen to that Kermit the Frog, Walt Disney, Robin Hood bullshit, A Battle of Evermore.
I love that.
No. Oh, it's dread. It's dread.
Let me just bring up 1977 for a moment. 77, we had Queen, A Day at the Races. I mean, sorry, News of the World. We had Animals by Pink Floyd. Great one. Fantastic. Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Foreigner's first album.
Out of the blue.
I'm looking at these years back to back. You can't beat 70. 77 is putting 71 to shame.
Yeah.
I think the number one song of 1971, as far as like top 40 or whatever the chart was called back then, the number one song of 71 was I Shot the Sheriff, Eric Clapton. And so if that's the best you got for the year, right?
That wasn't 1971.
I think that was 71.
Bullshit.
Hang on.
It's a cover of
73.
It's a cover from Bob Marley. And when the hell did Bob Marley come out?
Like 71.
Yeah,
no
I'm gonna
way.
say it was probably 73 when
somebody look that up.
74.
Look up
74.
what?
Thank you very much.
No, released 12 February 1973, but the
Fireball was 71. That's a good fucking album.
Oh yeah. Well, you and Chuck love your Deep Purple.
Yep.
I'm surprised Joe hasn't mentioned Nantucket Sleigh Ride.
Do you know how many girls when I was in high school was like, "Oh my God, did you get the new Deep Purple?" That's right, none.
Said no girls.
Because you didn't know no fucking girls in high school.
Oh yeah, right. I did. Unfortunately, I knew what music they were listening to. They were like, "You don't like Bob?" I was a girl I was in high school with. She got mad. I told her I hated Bob Seger. How do you hate Bob Seger? I'm like, if I hear Turn the Page, and still to this day, if I hear Turn the Page, I'm going to Rochambeau somebody. And then
what was your guys' first concert back in the day? What was your first concert?
Nazareth and Billy Squire.
Iron Maiden with Queensryche opening.
Deep Purple with Girls School.
Wow.
Mine was Styx, the Equinox album with Uriah Heep.
Wow.
Uriah Heep had like 5 records in 71, I think.
Yeah, that was like 76. So it was the Firefly album.
I just said Nantucket Sleigh Ride, Mountain, 1971.
Ken Hensley was the lead singer of Uriah Heep at the time. And I'm like, what? This ain't Uriah Heep. So the keyboard player had taken over on the lead vocal.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Hold
John
on.
Wetton.
I was like, shit.
I got a list.
All right. Yes.
We got a list, folks.
We got a list. Hot off the fuck, literally hot off the presses. I'm checking my email, and my new issue of Guitar.
Before we start the list, because Chuck wasn't here for our conversation about food. Chuck, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Good.
Feeling pretty good.
Good. Very good.
No complaints at all.
All right. Excellent. So you don't need Rinvoq or Ingrezza, or maybe you'd like to try Entresto. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
I will say this, gentlemen. My A1C was here, but I think it's got to be here. So I'm just putting more salt in my water, and everything's good.
Let me tell you. Ask your doctor about Vraylar.
Why do I keep hearing about put salt in the fucking water?
Try it, bro. Try it. It's good.
Because when you're carnivore, your body doesn't hold on to salt anymore, and you won't understand how much better you'll feel. In fact, if you were saying about the other thing with the paprika, salt will do the same thing. It really just makes you feel fantastic. If you ever get a headache, put salt in your water.
How much salt?
Street Survivors. Just to taste.
Who remembers their second concert they went to?
I only went to 2. My second one was
so Joe does.
It was Ozzy Osbourne, Ultimate Sin. This was May 31st, 1986. Ozzy Osbourne was doing Ultimate Sin, and Metallica was doing Master of Puppets. Cliff would die 5 months later.
Wow.
Geez, I'm trying to remember what my second could have been.
Go ahead.
Let's see. 84 was
Don Hall. I can get your high blood pressure down.
I saw Love It First.
Drug free. In fact, if anybody in the chat is type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, pre-diabetic, message me on my Outlook email. It's dave44levine@outlook.com. And I will go into detail of why you have high blood pressure and how to get rid of it. I guarantee it. In fact, no, it wasn't anyone here. So my singer was high blood pressure, super high blood pressure. I put him on the diet. I told him within 3 days, day 4, his blood pressure was normal, no medication. No medication at all. You can get off anything without medication. Everything, every illness, everything you have is all metabolic.
Oh, I remember what my second.
Jeremy, what was their song? Was that Summertime? Summer Song? What was the name of that Chad and Jeremy song? Was it Summertime, Summer Song?
Yeah. What the fuck is
James Gang? Wow. Oh, I love the Rascals too.
Dave's gonna love my second concert. I just remembered what it was. Neil Young.
Let me guess.
The Trans Tour.
Was Neil Young? I was gonna guess Peter Allen.
Here's a 71 song. Quincy Jones's ultimate achievement, The Street Beater. Look it up.
Was that 77?
71.
Oh, 71. Oh. Sanford and Son.
Yep.
All right. So what's this list?
It finally loaded. I'm getting to it. It's
okay. Good.
This is from the New Guitar World.
Tree hugging. That's the opposite.
By the way, that was Quentin James that just called me.
Yeah.
He loved my list. Okay. So.
Oh, nice.
I got one person that thought it was very fun.
It is called the 50 Greatest Moments in Electric Guitar History.
50 what?
50 Greatest Moments in Electric Guitar History.
Hey,
yeah, speed for high. You're 100% right. Okay, go on. Let's see how this
at this point you say.
I got to zoom in. Hold on.
Can we guess what number one is right now? Let's all guess what number one is right now.
Well, I don't think they do a countdown because they start with number 1.
Oh.
And number
yes,
1
Rich, we did.
In 1882.
1882?
Yeah, the nation's first electricity-generated power station opens its doors. Oh, come on now. You know you're in for a fucking dumb ride when you're starting off with that. Well, the second one starts off in 1890. The first patent for an electric guitar design is given to inventor George Breed, September 2nd, 1890. Oh, my God.
Was that Badlands Guitars?
No, that's Gladland. Number 3, Lee DeForest patents the first electronic amplifier, 1907.
DeForest Kelly?
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's a dumb list.
Yeah.
The first paper cone loudspeaker is developed by Chester Rice and Edward Kellogg in 1921. And
So
remember,
they're the
eating
dickheads.
rice with your Kellogg's is better than a steak.
That's right.
Number 5, the Stromberg. This is fucking retarded.
Yeah. Let's get a big. Yeah, Hannah Baum's right. Get a better list. We need a better list than that.
Fucking guitar.
You're gonna need a better list.
I mean, this list is fucking dumb.
Yeah, alkaline water is terrible because, first of all, we're acidic and we should be acidic. And I drink lemon water because you need the acid in your stomach as you get older, not alkaline. But it's people that are vegan, I don't handle the mentally challenged. All right, what do you got? Let me
number 23 on the list is Ernie Ball introduces the Slinky strings in 62.
Was it that early?
I was surprised at that.
I don't think so. Because Jimmy Page was putting unless Jimmy Page, because he was putting a banjo string on his guitars because nobody was making a
Number 25, string. The Who's Pete Townsend smashes his guitar for the first time on stage at the Railway Hotel in 1964.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did I say about bringing up the Who?
Dave, don't be a hater, Dave.
27, Brian May builds his Red Special guitar 1963 to 64.
Well, that's a great moment.
It took a year to put that together. That's that's workmanship.
That was an amazing build, honestly, for him to play it all those years and not just upgrade to something that's been professionally built, for him to just keep playing that.
You never changed the frets on it. They're all worn in and divoted and everything like that. And
people used to, when we used to play bad shows, people would cheer for those pickups. Boo Earns.
Boo Earns. I was saying Boo Earns.
I knew you would know the reference.
Oh man. Yeah.
Number 34, Black Sabbath.
I'm just not a Who fan.
Invention of heavy metal, February 13th, 1970.
That's the invention of heavy metal, or the term from Steppenwolf?
I don't know. Number 35, Led Zeppelin releases 4 featuring Stairway to Heaven, November 8th, 71. Number 36, Larry DiMarzio builds and markets his first Super Distortion pickup, kicking off the replacement parts revolution, 1972.
Wait. 72. I thought it was 74. Wow, 72. All right. All right, let's find a better list than
yeah, this is fucked.
She's now
go just to the top 5. Let's just
Oh, excellent, Ricky.
It's really not a top 5, but we'll get there. Let me go.
Okay.
Oh fuck, it's gonna end on another page.
Hold on, Jay Sherman wants to comment on this list.
It stinks.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right. Well, number 45, I like that. When Buckethead releases his first album, ushering a new era of virtuosity. I don't know that would be true, but I'll take the first album. Number 46, Line 6 Amp Farm and the Rise of Software Amp Modeling. That was 1998.
I used to use Amp Farm in the studio. I liked the first version of Amp Farm.
47, Jack White of the White Stripes buys a vintage 1966 Montgomery Ward airline guitar from Detroit musician Jack Yarber and revives interest in what many had considered junk guitars from the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Eastwood Guitars bought the brand and repackaged, basically they make them, all the airline guitars.
Number 48, YouTube Guitar Instruction, 2003.
All right. What we got a list.
Oh, we got two more. We got two more.
Wait, YouTube
number 49
Guitar Instruction. YouTube?
Number 49, St. Vincent's Ernie Ball Music Man signature model. Really? That's in the top 50? A model of a fucking guitar? And finally, number 50, the rise of the quote-unquote smart amp, 2019. What do they mean?
means when you go into Guitar Center and a young kid picks up a guitar and plays it, it turns off itself.
Spark Mini.
It shocks
Get
them.
the fuck out of here with this stuff.
I thought there'd be something about Clapton. I mean, Hendrix.
That's what I was hoping.
Buzz. Yeah, what about Hendrix?
I had another list, but I don't know where it got saved.
Oh, how about Chaz Chandler bringing? No, McCartney brought Hendrix to Monterey.
How about 4 years after his death, the best Hendrix albums released in 1974 called Bridge of Sighs.
number 48, number 49 on the list. The Tone King and Philip McKnight released the Badlands. Number 50, a week later, Larry Guitarist puts out the Gladlands. Right now they're sewing over Larry Guitars fucking masturbating on that one.
What about the Jeff Beck Miley Cyrus collab?
My goodness.
Larry's selling the guitar for $24.99. $24.99.
Let me see if I can find it.
Ed Dana, I'm not sure that you can verify that Robin Trower blows goats.
Do you have pictures?
Anyways, did anyone see the video that we shot yesterday at the Cigar Lounge?
Yeah, that was fun.
Guys,
wait, the quick video, or was there a different?
Yeah, the quick little one.
Yeah, that was fun. Who's that girl that was walking by?
She's the bartender there. That's Bonnie. She's great. Very funny to do that. I thought it was like really cool.
It was very good.
Yeah. Yes, Hannibal, very good.
Yeah, and Dave, you didn't even have a line in it. All you had to do was stand there.
I know. Well, Krell Bro was directing the video.
Yeah.
And he just said, all you got to do is stand there and look handsome. And I said, well, that I can handle. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Those cigars were looking pretty handsome.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what I was thinking today? So in the cigar industry, everyone thinks Steve Saka is everyone has nothing nice to say about him. I watched a video with him the other day and I was like, I like the guy. Like he gets shit from everybody. And it's like he doesn't want to deal with that part of the business. And so he's like very like off hands. But let's say tomorrow, Chuck, you started a cigar company. And Steve Saka says, I'll run it for you. Or the guy who runs Gurkha Cigars says he'll run it for you. Now, the guy who runs Gurkha Cigars is a great fucking guy. Everyone's buddy. Who's blending your cigars?
Steve Saka.
Right.
I subscribe.
And I just want to say, it's obvious that it would be Saka, right? Because he makes the best cigars.
Listen, I subscribe to the George Steinbrenner theory when he was talking about what you should have in a ball player. He said Greg Nettles is an asshole, but there's nobody in the world I want playing third base for me more.
And my whole point to this is, folks, why in 2024 you should all vote for Donald J. Trump. He's the great. I don't care if you like
us. If he gets the nomination.
You want mean tweets? I don't care. Saka writes mean tweets. This guy makes a great cigar.
I've never had a bad one he's made.
Steve Frazier, I am 5'8", 5'9" with afro.
Jufro.
But he makes $5 million a year, but Fletch earns every cent. He's 6'5", 6'9" with afro. Yeah, no, Steve, the problem is you're not understanding these two guys are very tall. Chuck, how tall are you? 6'2"?
Yeah.
All right. And Krell, you're like 6'3" right now?
6'3" right now. I used to be 6'5", but I scrunched. Lost 2 inches.
Well, it's too bad they don't print phone books up anymore, Dave. You could have stood on a phone book.
Well, I was going to borrow the box that Alan Ladd used for Shane.
No, I thought they had. I thought they had other people walking in a trench.
They did when they were outside, but when he was at the bar, he's standing on a box like at the bar. His ass is like in the middle of other people's backs. It's like putting Richie Aprile on stilts to talk to Tony.
Nice.
It's the jacket.
Hey, listen.
Oh, the jacket.
I want to rep something here. If you
here we go.
Time, right? I don't know. You guys want to read the craziest book you've ever read right here?
You got to hold it. Okay. Retail.
Be careful.
That's the Crazy Eddie.
There
Are
you go.
reading from Penthouse Letters again?
No, right here. Crazy Eddie. Okay. Used to sell TVs on TV. The book's called Retail Gangsta. It is the most tripped out book you ever read. If you guys remember Crazy Eddie.
Of course, his prices are insane.
His prices are insane. Crazy Eddie was a straight up gangster. And I don't mean
I gotta read that.
I mean like a real gangster. I'm telling it's the most tripped up book you'll ever read. It's called Retail Gangsta. And he had more like fraud than like anybody decided Joe Biden. He's incredible. He's incredible.
Unbelievable.
You'd be amazed at the book. Amazed.
All right. Everyone, you heard that? You heard it here. Retail Gangsta.
Out here in Phoenix, we had a Mad Max that would sell furniture and do that style of sales and commercials.
So, Joe, did you get into the list?
Oh, I'm putting a Crazy Eddie.
What you guys now? There's been a lot of
go.
talk about Rolling Stones, two great singers of all time. Do you guys want to go through that? Because it's just crazy. It made like Fox News talked about it and stuff.
Is that fucked up?
You want to think about the greatest singer according to Rolling Stone?
I thought we talked about this when
you're gonna say Elvis.
Like, I think Barbara wasn't even in the conversation. If she's not even on the list.
Well, it's the greatest singers, Dave, not the most atrocious singers.
Yeah,
well, Barbara's a great singer. I mean, as a person,
singer.
She's an awful human being.
Yeah, Barbara Streisand's not on the top 200. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but she's a great singer. And all I have to do is point to the album "Guilty" with her and Barry Gibb.
And I'm not a fan.
Real fag if
they're probably going to have Lou Reed on there.
Celine Dion is not on the list, and not that I'm a fan of hers, but she seemed like she was pretty freaking big.
Who, Celine Dion?
The whole Titanic and all that.
I hate the way she vowels her words, though, as a singer. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, and she was.
Oh, this was the one like Pavarotti's on this list. I want to see rock singers or rock frontmen. You know who's one of the best rock frontmen of all time? And you guys won't believe me when I tell you. It's a guy named Bob Dylan. Because no one stands there and has marbles in his mouth more than this fucking asshole. And somehow fucking Rolling Stone says this guy's one of the top frontmen of all time. His kid's a better frontman. I don't care what anyone says.
Jacob Dylan.
Well, the only other list I found is also from Guitar World. There was the Guitarists of the Year for 2022.
Who's
interesting because
real quickly, who's better? Rod Stewart or the guy from the Black Crowes, Chris, whatever his last name is? Chris Robinson. Who's the better rock frontman?
Rod Stewart.
No way.
Rod Stewart.
No.
I don't think I've seen enough of Chris Robinson.
I think Chris Robinson has a better voice.
Now, is Chris the singer or the guitar player?
The singer.
Okay, what's the guitar player? His brother's name?
Brother to Chris. I have no idea. Look.
Brother Chris?
Mike? I don't know.
It's kind of that's a hard decision to make. It's kind of a coin toss.
Well, I want opinions. It's all. There's no answer here, guys. Obviously, if I say one, Chuck says the other. We're at it. Obviously, we both have different opinions. But what's your opinion? You don't just sit there and go, "Oh, Dave said that. I guess that's the end." No, argue with me. That's the whole point.
Rod Stewart had a little bit more raspiness to his voice. So Chris Robinson.
Well, he said frontman. He was talking about frontman, I guess. Animation.
Oh, is Rich the brother?
Yeah.
Rich Robinson, that's the brother?
Yep.
All right.
I know, but Rod Stewart stood like this. And in that If You Think I'm Sexy video, here's my impersonation of Rod Stewart. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah, we want to see this.
If you think I'm sexy, anyone
I'm gonna have fucking nightmares now.
I think you just went. Well, yeah, I wasn't agreeing with you.
Crazy Eddie, bro. Crazy.
How many grams?
That was Rod Stewart.
How many grams of coke
do
did
you
they
think
give
I'm
you to
crazy
review that
video
fucking
right there?
Badlands?
I'm telling you, watch the "Do You Think I'm Sexy" video. Rod was doing that.
Oh, I've seen it. She sits alone. Na, na, na. But let me just say this: Chris Robinson's voice to me is fucking awesome. Like, what's that song? Goodbye, Blue Eyes. Bad Luck, Blue Eyes, Goodbye. That's a fucking great. His voice on that song is outrotted Rod. I mean, I like Rod in the Jeff Beck group. Shapes of Things is great, but I still think that Chris Robinson's voice is a little better. I don't know.
It's not. They both got pluses, but
I was waiting for Dane to transform into Buffalo Bill.
I got to tell you, I wasn't a huge Black Crowes fan until I started playing these parties up in New Hampshire, and these guys are Black Crowes fans, and they used to play them on my break. And then I heard songs. I went back to those albums, and I'm like, no, they're fucking great. The Otis Redding song, what was that? Hard to Handle.
That's the worst.
That song sucks, but the rest of the stuff is fucking great. I would tell them right away, stop with the covers.
I'm so hard to handle now.
Yeah, I
know that Chris Robinson married Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson.
Right. Now, Kate Hudson's not related to Kurt Russell, right?
No. No,
that was the first husband.
The Hudson brothers, probably. Yeah, she banged one of the Hudson brothers.
Well, that's so romantic. All right. So do you have, Joe, do you have that list? You said something about guitar players in 2020 something?
2022.
Yes, it was Guitar World's. Let me go back up here. Guitarists of the Year, the players who left their mark on 2022.
That'll be interesting because, I mean, like,
I won't know any of them.
No, you know plenty of them.
Is Tone King in this list? Should be. I'm sure more people are watching his videos than listening to half the music you're going to mention.
You know what? And that is something that you can talk about in this day and age. What amp? We're all talking about what amp did Eddie use? What amp did all these old guys use back in the day? What equipment were they playing? Guys, these modern day YouTubers are playing their guitars, the Pete Thorns and all those kind of guys. They get way more views and way more listens to on the gear that they're playing through compared to
and they're also being mic'd through shitty fucking internet mics. I mean, it's like, you know, well, whatever mic, and then it's being compressed and going through YouTube. It's all bullshit. Anyone that sits there and want to say, "Oh, let me listen how great this sounds," who cares?
Yeah, I know.
You know what? Like Greg Koch can come over here and play any one of my amps. They're all going to sound amazing. This little $100 amp's going to sound fucking amazing when he plays it. People say on my channel all the time when I play my electric, they're like, "What are you using? That sounds just like the record." I'm like, "It doesn't," and I'm using a $100 amp.
I went to a bar last Tuesday night and I saw Greg Koch live, and I went and actually got to go see him live. And his son is his drummer. And he's got probably the best keyboard player I've ever seen in my life. They don't tour with a bass player. The keyboard player's got a nice 3-tier keyboard.
Right, ELP.
Bass line, like the Doors, guys from the Doors.
I don't like to say bad things, but you go into a bar to see Koch, you're prancing around like Rod Stewart. What's wrong with you tonight?
I know.
It's a joke.
Disgusting.
You're going to be coming out of the closet soon to kill Vito? Real quickly, I was watching The Sopranos. I was watching Terrence Winter talk about that episode on Talking Sopranos, the podcast. And he alluded to the fact that Phil comes out of the closet to kill Vito as a hint to the audience that Phil's in the closet.
Yeah, a little light in his loafers.
I thought that was very interesting.
That's why he was so angry about.
They got a Fanuc in the crew.
Yeah.
Well, there's 18 on this list. Should I read it or not?
Yeah, please. Number 18.
What
What
is
is it?
number 18. Give me a second to fix my fucking cushion here.
I'm betting.
Polyphia's Tim Henson and Scott LePage.
I only know him because he was on Rick Beato.
I think a lot of people only know them because they just put out a video with Steve Vai.
Right.
Other than that, it's gotta be something. I mean, they're not bad. It's that quote unquote math rock.
It sucks. It's not music. It's just I could have a computer do that and play it the same. It's just there's nothing interesting about it. I think it stinks. And then they had Steve Vai play out like
when they would say
Vai's going to play a solo.
Back in our day, when they say a guy like Yngwie played without feel, I'd want to smack people across the fucking mouth. But
yeah,
hey, all right.
Well, it's like, oh, we're going to play with Steve Vai. Oh, great. You really want me to fall asleep?
There's a lot of people that play with Steve Vai to get that Steve Vai credit.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 17 is Slash.
For the commercials.
Yeah.
Because he's on those commercials playing a Sweet Child of Mine for the fucking Progressive Insurance or whatever it is. Let me tell you, you guys all, you know the actor, he's the black actor that does like one of those game shows, but his name's like Anthony something.
Oh,
and he does.
Yeah, I know.
He does the commercial where he talks about his type 2 diabetes, and I want to beat the fuck out of him every time I hear it. oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, go talk about your list. Don't talk about changing the way you fucking eat, you fucking piece of shit. Tell everyone now they're paying millions of dollars to an actor to go on TV to have a real serious talk with you about your type 2 diabetes. So I can tell you to go get your doctor's opinion who's going to put you on medication that the government is going to be paying for. Well, you're really paying for it. That's why the government wanted to take over medication because then it's free. What is it?
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson. Thank you. God, it fucking pisses me off every time I see that commercial. I'm like, if this guy ever works again. Okay, go on.
All right. Number 16, Matt Bellamy.
From the Bellamy Brothers. Don't pour your love out on me, honey.
No, that's
guitarist Matt Bellamy had a busy year with the band's new album, Mill of the People.
No, of course. I have no idea who he is.
No idea. Well, the next guy we know, Jim Root from Slipknot.
Great. And he's also in Stone Sour.
But did they put anything out in 2022?
Yeah, they had an album just came out a few months back.
Oh, I think it came out this year.
No. Was it? No. I think no. I think that was
because they left their label.
Yeah, it was like the last album under that label.
Jim Root gets a lot of credit. I think the other guy in the band is a great guitar player too. Thompson there.
Mick Thompson.
Mark.
Yeah, Mick.
Yeah, he's great.
Now, I'll tell you, both of their guitars, they're endorsed by all kinds of people, and both of those guitars, guys love them. The Jim Root Telly and the Jim
Root does Fender
Jaguar,
and Mick Thompson, I think, is BC Rich.
Thompson,
no, Mick's Ibanez, isn't he? With that 7 across the front. Isn't that an Ibanez?
Hang on for a second.
It might have even been a Schecter, but I don't know.
It's not a Schecter. Come on, guys.
No, it's not.
It's Ibanez, isn't it?
Which one?
Well, this one has Jackson, but I mean, I don't think he's always play. Okay, he plays Ibanez, Jackson,
Mick Thompson.
Yeah.
I
remember the Ibanez.
Yeah,
I had a gray one, neck through, real thin neck.
You played BC Rich as well. He played custom Mick Thompson black electric guitar, whatever that was.
When he was buying his own guitars.
Yeah.
Boy, they really lie in this fucking article, don't they?
What else they got?
Now I'm looking at number 14, and for some of them they post a video. And number 14 is Sophie Lloyd. She's a shredder from London. But in this, they say she's closing in on 2 million subscribers. But when you hover over the video, a little window pops open, 837,000 subscribers. That's pretty fucking big. But why are they saying closing in on 2 million when she hasn't closed in on 1 million yet?
I don't know. It's weird.
And now, if they're including like YouTube guitar players, this list is going to be whacked because it's like,
yeah, but she's pretty popular. She plays live now.
I never heard of her, but it's all right.
Number 14, Steve. That was 14. Number 13 is Steve Morse.
Did Steve Morse put anything out this year?
Yeah, that's what's so weird. Why is he there?
Who's the best female guitar player? Is it Paul Gilbert? Because I heard he said he was going to stop using pronouns of female so he can get that, so he can be crowned that. That's the world we live in. I swear to God, somebody, if they were like, "Oh, we're not going to talk about," I'd be like, "Perfect." Have Ingve go up and say, "Call me." I go by she and her.
Samantha Fish is good. She's a blues guitarist, but
she sucks.
Good. You think she just sucks?
I do. You know what? To me, it's like, you know what I can't stand is when someone says, "Did you see this person? They were a blues player." Look, there's about 2 or 3 blues players that I've seen in my life where I'm like, that fucking guy can play. Stevie Ray Vaughan was one of them. Laith Al-Sadi, who's a fucking great blues player. But most blues players, they just play the fucking pedestrian riffs. It's like, it's a simplified music that doesn't take much skill. It's the bottom of the fucking, I mean, it's not like, if you said like, oh, so-and-so's a jazz player, I'd be like, all right. But a blues player, everyone starts on the blues for a reason. And it's not because it's difficult. So when I saw Samantha Fish, someone sent me some videos over a couple of years ago, and I was like, I would never go see this.
Right.
This is just like,
she has a nice smoky voice, though. I mean,
every town has a Samantha Fish. Every town has a girl that plays blues. I mean, look at this girl that's on fucking YouTube now that's in England with the big boobs. She always puts the strap like she's like, oh, I'm just trying this guitar.
Mimi, whatever. Yeah,
Mimi. Oh, I'm just trying this guitar just to make, I'm sorry, is my cleavage showing? It's like
right there. Yeah.
It's like she uses the fucking strap as a bustier and she's wondering why she's getting 1 million views. Meanwhile, she can't play a lick in tune. I go and fucking make a video. I get 20 viewers. She's got 20 million. She's guitar player of the year as far as I'm concerned. With that amount of views, she'll be in Rolling Stone next year as the greatest guitar player of all time. Then she goes with some guy. They do a video and they're like, "We tried this 1962 Strat." Oh my! Like it's like such a big deal. Who cares? Who fucking cares?
It's cool though that women are actually playing guitar though, because it's really only like 6% of women in guitar players. Out of all the guitar players, 6% are female, something like that.
Well, that's driven more by less females want to play guitar.
Right. And most females don't want to be on the road. They want to start a family. So, but we had Heart, we had the Runaways, we had Joan Jett had a solo career, we had the Go-Go's, we had Pat Benatar. But it gets to a point where it's like the same thing when they say like women don't make the same amount of money. Well, most women they want to raise families. They have to take certain time. There's other factors that go on. Jordan Peterson does a great job.
Yeah, he tore that. Yeah. He says, well, what about the disparity in bricklayers? The disparity in
he went into that one. Now remember,
exactly.
There's only 6% of guitar players are actually women. There's a lot of guitar players that are a bunch of little bitches, but they're not actually women.
Right.
Number 12 on the list, Joe Satriani.
Did he put something out? That's going to be my reaction to everyone.
Well, my reaction is I'll put him on the list if he doesn't put something out.
Yes, he put an album out called The Elephants of Mars. He recorded it at home and worked remotely with his band.
He's got to work on those titles.
2022, huh?
Number 11, Jack White. I don't know why, but he's number 11.
All he had to do was put something out, I guess.
Number 10, I like this guy, Dave Mustaine.
Megadeth worked hard last year.
The Sick, the
And he
Dying, and
overcame
the
an
Dead.
illness.
That's a great album.
Yeah, he works hard at it.
It's funny. I was telling a friend of mine, we were talking about the new Metallica song that came out last week. I said, it's not bad, but it's not really what you would expect from Metallica. And I said, it's weird. It's like Metallica forgot how to be Metallica, but at the same time, Megadeth remembered how to be Megadeth.
Yeah, I think Metallica has been sucking for years. I mean, I don't think there's any secret that it's like they've been phoning it in for a long time.
I like Death Magnetic, but I've gone on record saying that. All right, number 9, Dave Grohl.
What did he put out?
Well, he had a movie that came out, a horror movie.
Oh, the horror movie, yeah. But
Dave
isn't this a guitarist list?
The Taylor Hawkins concerts were probably the biggest rock events of last year. And
what a sad remembrance of last year.
In my opinion,
that's one of the best.
Did you hear a rumor on who the new guitar player? I mean, their new drummer is going to be?
Who?
So the son of the guy from Queen. So Taylor.
Oh, okay, Roger Taylor.
His son. Yeah, he's done so much stuff. He's was on all these records. He's a great drummer. He was part of the Taylor Hawkins concerts that they had.
Well, it's in the contract that somebody maintains the name Taylor in the band. So he's going to just use his last name.
Number 8, Tosin Abasi. He had a new album, and that new Ernie Ball guitar came out for a lot more money than I would think or could ever afford.
He sold over 4 records.
Now, let me just say this. If they put Dave Grohl on that list, I mean, the other guitar player in that band is actually a pretty good guitar player, Chris Shiflett. He put out a solo album.
We're back to the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Dave Grohl is the biggest rock star alive today.
Thank God your opinion means garbage. No, I'm kidding. Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. Because look,
I think he's part of.
Dies. Who else do you know? Their drummer dies. He can call up anybody in the world and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm doing this concert. Can you show up?" It's going to be a giant clusterfuck. I got everybody from Miley Cyrus to Paul McCartney showing up. Wolfgang Van Halen shows up to play Van Halen songs. Who could do that? Who could talk?
I'd call that not very rock and roll. Your fucking drummer dies. You go out there, you find another drummer, you continue your tour, you play for your fans. You don't make this fucking everyone's trying to do the Freddie Mercury concert thing again. It's like, go fuck yourself. The Foo Fighters do not deserve 5 minutes of my attention.
Right?
3.5 minutes, maybe one song I enjoy.
How many? The one guy blew up and began with just a little bit of globule on the stool. Spinal Tap went on every tour a drummer died.
What did Kiss do when Eric Carr died? Did they call Dave Grohl? Did they call all their friends and say, "Come on, do a tribute for this guy"? Or did they just get fucking Eric Singer?
Nobody's done it like that, and that's why I think that the Foo Fighters, there's something special about him that he can organize something.
Well, they tried to sell his body.
ZZ Top, I'm pissed off. Dustin from ZZ Top dies, and a week
Gene
later,
could have found a way to make money, he probably would have had one. But
right, a week later, they're out there continuing the tour for their fans. They're not doing the Hollywood shticky thing.
It seemed very disrespectful to their original.
I think the opposite. I think the other seems worse when you make it a circus because the guy died, and then you bring it and make it a shticky thing that promotes the band. And are they giving every dime of that money from that event to the family?
I don't know any of that.
Right. They never said it, so I doubt it. But it comes across as very shticky to me. Like, let's put on a show. You know, that's
but it seemed weird. That
is Rip Taylor?
A week later,
no,
with their roadie on bass.
It's still Welcome Back, Carter.
I wasn't happy about what ZZ Top, how they handled it.
I thought they handled it fine. They continued the tour and made their fans a priority. People had tickets. They're a band. It's rock and roll. These guys are not living the fucking life of let's Hollywood it up and call all our friends. Let's get Starchild over here and have Starchild sing a song. Please. Right. If I go see the Foo Fighters and Paul Stanley comes out to sing, I'm walking the fuck out. If I wanted to go see Kiss, I'd fucking go see Kiss. That tired queen. That's right, folks. You heard it here first.
Maybe so.
This is Gene Simmons of Kiss. We have a demon. We have a cat. We have a spaceman. And we have a star child.
Oh, my God. Number 7. I never even heard of this guy before. Andrew Watt.
Fuck knows.
He was on Ozzy's album and he produced some other stuff.
Oh, was that the guy who? No, I'm thinking of Mike.
Well, on the Patient number 9 album, the only thing they keep saying the second that record came out was Jeff Beck played on a song.
Yeah.
And what's the song I hate by Ozzy from the Ultimate Sin album?
Oh, Killer of Giants.
Killer.
No, the one about the bomb.
Yeah, that's it. Isn't it Killer of Giants?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Ozzy sounds like on Patient number 9. It's that whiny Ozzy.
I will say that the intro to that song is pretty cool.
Oh, will you say that? Thank God you said that.
Yeah.
That took a lot of balls.
Yeah.
That song stinks.
I like that song.
Oh, they've been playing the piss out of it on Sirius.
I've only heard it once.
Well,
I
called it canceled. The vocal part of it. It's like, but
I don't know.
Number 6, Joe Bonamassa.
Woo! You know he had to make that list.
He's a blues guy that can play. I'll tell you right now, anyone you talk to me about a woman blues player, show me a woman blues player that plays better than Bonamassa, and I'll listen to you. Because Joe's a great fucking player.
Yeah.
He's very good.
But then you have Samantha Fish. Samantha Fish sounds like she's a first-year student with the Joe Bonamassa School of fucking of Nerdsville.
Well, he did take her out on the when they did the cruise a couple of years ago. You know, the Joe.
Of course, you
Bonamassa
take someone out that makes you look good when you come out after.
Oh my God!
What do you think you're going to do? Bring out a band that's better than you? That's only something stupid that Aerosmith would do in the fucking 70s when they took Kansas with them.
Paul Schaefer was their host. Remember that?
Number 5. I love this guy. He had a great album. Eric Gales.
Yeah, he's a
great player. He's upside down.
Phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go see him right before the pandemic, and pandemic came and the tickets dried up.
Wait, so let me ask you this. So Bonamassa goes on tour and he takes Samantha Fish to be the opening act? It's a fucking genius.
No, I think it's that. I think it's the Blues Cruise he's talking about. There's like 1 billion people on that thing.
Oh, okay.
They're hyping the new one that's coming up.
Okay, because I think it's a brilliant thing. It's like, I'll have a shitty blues person first. That way, when I come out, I look huge.
All right. Number 4, Steve Vai.
Because he did the fucking that thing with that band that plays fucking
No. Yeah. He had that album. His album came out, and he had that big fucking.
Did he tell anybody?
That guitar, the Teeth of the Hydra thing.
Oh,
okay, that's right.
No, you're thinking of For the Love of God. That was his old album.
No, that was a good one. For the Love of Pisses, everything's after that.
I like For the Love of God when it was the Kung Fu theme.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys I was listening to a lot of Frank Zappa last week?
Yes.
After like about 82, Zappa's stuff really went to the shitter.
Yeah, it did.
Everything sounds like 50s music. He lost his, when he's playing songs like Cheapness is a fucking brilliant song. Anything on Apostrophe, Uncle Remus, those are really brilliantly constructed songs with a lot of arrangements. And then later it just became like a cartoon-esque. That's how I feel about Steve Vai's career. The first 2 albums, Flexible, great. Passion and Warfare, even better.
Yeah,
and then after that, it's like, now we're just going to keep making this album again. Don't care for it. Go on.
Number 3, Nita Strauss. Someone kept asking where she was. Surfby, wasn't that you? There she is, number 3.
I'll listen to her when I need a headache.
She's with Demi Lovato or somebody now.
Yeah, that was a big thing. She left Alice Cooper and went with Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
There was a lot of bullshit over that.
Girl
Okay,
power.
number 2. Wolfgang Van Halen.
Woo!
Put it to bed, kid. That's what I would say. Put it to bed, you know. Put it to bed, kid.
Yeah.
Ugh. You know.
Wolfgang, the thing with Wolfgang, it's like I'm going to start a channel where all I do is talk about Wolfgang Van Halen.
Are you going to cry?
If he passes,
I'm going to fucking cry.
I'll cry if he plays. If he's
Talking
performing.
Wolfie.
All right. Number 1 on the list of guitarists who did something in 2022 is John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
He joined the Chili Peppers.
Yeah, after 16 years away, he went back to the Chili Peppers.
Yeah. And he came back and he was like, oh, cool. Nothing's changed. We all still suck. I'm not a fan. I liked the Chili Peppers up until the first Frusciante album with them, which was, I think, was Mother's Milk. That's a great record. After that, they stunk. They went really into the shitter. And they haven't come out of that cesspool since.
Yeah, I've said before that Mother's Milk is, I like that better than
That's a great record. So is Freaky Styley. That's a great album.
But there was some good songs on Blood Sugar Sex Magic, too. It's, you know, the Breaking a Girl and...
Krill, remember the time you went to see them on that tour? Hold on, I think I have it on video here.
It's a fucking joke.
I've actually seen them a couple times.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I just don't. I'm not a fan.
That clip you can't playing, where's that from?
That's from The Sopranos. When they bust Vito, Vito's like a maid guy, and he's in the he's secretly gay in a New York bar, and some other New York mobsters come in to collect the money that's owed to them, so they have to go into this place, and they go, oh my God, it's Vito, and then they're giving him shit.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go put Mikey to bed. I'll be back in a few.
All righty.
I'll be back in time to say goodnight.
Sounds good.
Did you guys finish all?
I love you, Johnny Cakes. What's that?
Did you guys finish all 9 episodes of Tulsa King?
I did.
I haven't watched the first one yet.
I don't think. Are you watching it at all, Chuck?
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it. I'll catch it. I'll catch it. What I usually do. I'll wait till it's like off the air, and then like 4 years later, I'll say, "Hey, this is pretty good."
It's on Netflix. That's what I do with Seinfeld. I didn't start watching Seinfeld till like 2009, 2010.
Well, Tulsa King doesn't come back on the air till like November with season 2.
I know. Now I'm waiting for season 2, and it's like, it's going to take forever.
Yeah, it's going to be too long, and I just I wish it
Stallone
wasn't.
is badass, though. He's beating people up. It was kind of rubbing off on me a little bit.
It's great writing on this show. I will say the writing is fun. It's a little light. It's Terrence Winter, the guy who wrote The Sopranos, who's great. It really is a good show. There's some other shows I need to watch. I might start bringing my what do they call that thing? I always forget. It's not like a pad, like an iPad, but what?
Tablet.
A tablet, yeah. I'll bring my tablet to the gym and start watching. Like I'll start a new series and do cardio through it. That way I have, because I've been burning through albums, and I'm just like, gets tough listening to the Scorpions every day. Now, what did I hear today? Today I had it on Michael Schenker radio. I'll tell you what, you guys know the song Armed and Ready from Michael Schenker Group? That's a great fucking guitar solo in there. When he goes, it's a fucking killer shit. What's been going on now with you, Dane? Anything exciting?
Well, I did go see Greg Koch last Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Again, he's got his son playing drums, and he's very awesome on drums. And then they don't have a bass player. They got some dude.
I heard they have a great keyboard player.
Oh my God, that's like the best keyboard player I ever saw.
Yeah, I heard it from you 5 minutes ago.
I stand over on the side of the stage. I'm always that guy that sneaks around and pretends to be a roadie or something. I stand on the side of the stage when I go to shows like that. But I didn't hear any singing out of any of them. I left after like 10 songs, so I didn't give it their whole show, but there was no vocals going on, so it was a little rough for me. But
Greg
they would
Koch
kick
show.
into a traditional bluesy, slow bluesy thing, and that's with the one with that keyboard, and that's the ones that I really enjoyed, was their slow bluesy ones.
Chuck, how did yesterday go for you?
What's that? Oh, last night?
You left.
Oh, so I go, the property owner's not there. Let's just say, if you're a young landlord, don't be a young landlord, because you're under a lot of delusions.
Right.
This kid forgot altogether that he was supposed to meet me this morning. I call him. I wait for him almost 40 minutes. He shows up and then gives me a 3-credit lecture on why the city should pay for something that's on his property. And I'm like, whatever you say, pal. Wish I didn't leave. Put it that way.
What is it?
Wish I didn't leave. I would have rather stayed and finished my cigar. You know?
Oh, right.
You know, but hey, it happens. Listen, it's random. It's random. You get streaky. You hit 10 in a row. You miss 10 in a row. It's what you know. It's random.
Now, what cigar did you have at the? You were smoking the.
Well, Carl gave me one that had an owl.
Yeah, the owl. That's right. The anniversary of the Owl Lounge or something.
Yeah, and that, excuse me, that was very good. The Plasencia Fuego was very good.
Mm-hmm.
The
Fuerte.
Yes, that was an A. The Tabernacle, I will give a B.
Yeah, the Tabernacle. You know, first I smoked the Maduro Thursday night, and I was like, it's okay. It's not as good as some other Maduros that I've had. People were, definitely it's twice the price of the others. So I was like, fuck this. And then the one that you and I smoked on Sunday, I was like,
Sunday.
It's a good cigar, but
it was good.
Not at the price point it's at. No. It's an expensive cigar. So I had sent Joe some cigars because I wanted Joe to be able to try the cigars that we had talked about on the show. And I don't know if he has access to those cigars. It's hard to, some of them are hard
they're
to find.
Across the house.
Yeah, but Joe is going to. Are you going to smoke the? He's going to smoke a Todos Las Dias tonight.
Ooh. I think I'm going to have whatever number one on that list is. I think I'm going to light one up.
Yeah, Todos Las Dias.
It was like that. You will
Krell hasn't had that mainly because I think it's on the strongest side of cigars, and I know you said to me once
medium full. I've been doing. Lately. So I got to the Judge yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, I thought the Judge was a medium, but Don told me that was a strong cigar, and I was like, I don't know. He was like, oh, it's got tons of pepper. I didn't feel it.
Put it this way, Krell. The foundation we had yesterday, the red one. If you like a full flavored medium, you could smoke that. I would say. Okay. I wouldn't rate it any higher than that, Dave. Would you?
The foundation.
The foundation that we had yesterday, red, I'd call it a medium.
Yeah, but it wasn't a flavorful medium. I wouldn't. To me, the Olmec's a better cigar.
Oh, in every way, shape, or form, yes.
Yeah, and it has the flavor that I think he would like. I mean, he does like that.
Bought another 1898 too.
Yeah,
that's a great cigar.
Yeah,
and what's that? That Tatuani, whatever.
The Cabaguan.
Yeah.
No. The Tuxla T110.
Yeah, that.
The Tuxla T110.
So I'll have to try that.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, so I sent Joe. I think I sent Joe. Let me just see if I can tell you what I sent Joe. I sent you a hot cake, the Hot Cake 60.
Yeah.
Which was all three of us will go on and on about how great the Hot Cake 60 is.
It is.
One on Saturday.
It is.
There's also in there a Aroma de Cuba, the original, which is one of Krell standbys. He smokes like one of those all the time. What else was in there? I think there's I put a wide in there, La Perla Habana wide, which is a great yeah. And then the last one I think is the El Rey del Mundo Flor de la Neza, which is my
hold up the box.
Oh yeah, box of wides. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, we could talk about those nice cigar boxes we got.
Yeah, you guys got those humidor boxes.
They did get hooked up. It was good. It was good all the way around.
Anyways, going back to the Glary guitar, not the Glary. What's the brand?
Badlands.
Badlands Guitar
Badlands.
Company.
Oh, Badlands. And Badlands. Wasn't that the name of? Was that Jakey Lee's band?
Yep.
Badlands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the bass player, Greg from Badlands, he runs Bizarre Guitars in Phoenix. So
really,
yeah.
What did he think about that name?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to him about it.
Yeah, I was going to start a company called Led Zeppelin Guitars, but I just I'm joking. So Badlands Guitars, I want to wish them the best. I'm glad they sold all 50 because that puts them back at square one, right. According to kind of what you're saying, which I get. And, and hopefully they look at a few more, like I said, those things that we talked about.
What would you like to see in the future out of them?
Like I said, I would see a more conservative guitar that has all the appointments of a Super Strat, but that takes it a little bit more seriously. Not so much stuck in the 80s, but so much more like put the wheel on the neck. Use stainless jumbo frets. Don't start using medium jumbos. Use jumbo frets, and just think your people that were in the 80s that were playing guitar. Now, were you playing in the 80s, Dane?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started playing guitar in 81. I was 13 years old. So the 80s for me is 12 years old till about 21, right? Till 89. The 12-year-old to 21-year-old Dave Levine is not going to be the 54-year-old. And I'm like, just imagine this. When I was a kid, I used to have Stretch Monster. Do you guys remember Stretch Armstrong and Stretch Monster?
Yeah, I had Stretch. I had them both.
Okay, my brother had Stretch Armstrong. I got Stretch Monster.
Yep.
Now, if somebody said to me, listen, I have a brand new Stretch Monster from 1977 in the box. You want to buy it? Yeah, I do. That's going to bring me back to my childhood. But if someone says, listen, I made a brand new one, just as good, but we're going to, and you're going to get it for a lot less or even more money than the original one. Do you want it? No. But I do like toys. So if there was something else, like if there was a Stretch, like if someone made, I'm just saying, at 54, we go back to the 80s for nostalgia. Right? That's what it's for. We go to nostalgia. So to me, if you were going to do nostalgia, go find one of those prints that Kramer was using back in the day that everyone loved and go buy the rights to that print and put it on your guitars. That'll bring people, I always wanted that guitar. But to go, this is kind of the 80s style, is like, hey, listen, I know you really were a fan of the Brady Bunch, so I got you this. It's not the Brady Bunch box set, but instead it's a box set of somebody reenacting it, doing all different actors and films. And
this
everyone
guitar is all Jan.
Except this one's woke and it's all Asian.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? You know what, though? You can watch it on a TV that you got.
Crazy Eddie. My prices are insane.
It's true, though. But you know what I'm saying? So my advice in that respect would be figure out what they want. There's a built-in market somewhere. So if, Charvel used to do that. Remember the bullseye stripe, the bullseye, and then Zach did it, unfortunately. But the red bullseye, the one that Harry Perry's going up and down Venice Beach with, he has an old Charvel. To get that print going back or something would be a cool graphic. The graphic they did, I just didn't care. It doesn't bring back nostalgia for me. It's like just something like, yeah, that looks like it could have been in the 80s, but it wasn't. So I would say go back and look at guitars and get that if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, go to a more conservative look and like when everyone was a kid in the 80s, everyone was like, the Pontiac Firebird's a badass car. You're gonna sell a Pontiac Firebird to a 54-year-old for the price of a fucking Aston Martin? I don't think so. Sell him the Aston Martin. Anyways, I feel like I lost you there.
I was going for. If you want a modern Super Strat for $1,200 or something with a truss rod wheel, and the locking tuners and the Floyd or whatever, there's already a dozen companies that will make that for you. So just go buy the Jackson.
That's the point. But that's the
frac. Yeah.
Right. So what are they doing different from Jackson? Tell me what they're doing different from Jackson then. I get your point, but I disagree with your point because I'll tell you why. If I were to build a guitar, it would have a V-neck. It would be a wider nut width because those 80s guitars, most of those had wider nut widths. But I would have a wider nut width. I would also, like the Kramer Beretta was a 1 3/4. I would have it being a thicker neck. And I would have a bunch of amenities in it that I do to my guitars. So to me, and I'm saying there's nothing wrong with paying $2,500, but I can go the same company that you just said. I went online before we started this show and I saw 3 Kramer Berettas from 1987 selling for $1,300. So if I wanted that from the 80s, exactly what the 80s was, I can go buy it from the 80s and still save money. So I'm saying it's got to have did they have stainless frets in the 80s? Nobody was using them.
Nope.
That would be a thing where someone would go like, this brings me back, but it has the stuff. Just imagine like when they reissue amps. When Marshall reissued the JCM 800 2203, did they reissue it exactly to the original spec? I'll let you answer. No, they put a fucking effects loop in it.
Right.
The original didn't have an effects loop. So why would you put an effects loop if we're making we're bringing people back to the 80s? Because that's what's the standard now. And you can't go back and make something that's less than. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to buy it and disconnect the effects loop, go have at it. Have a tech go do it if you believe the effects loop fucks up the sound. But Marshall did it because that's what you're going to need. Everyone uses pedals. Pedals become the modern thing. Everyone was using pedals with the Marshall, and the big complaint was there was no effects loop, so they put an effects loop. That's all I'm saying. Put stainless fucking steel frets on your guitars.
But then on the flip side of that, the $1,300 80s Kramer Beretta needs a fret job.
Okay,
And
that's
you know what I'm
$300
saying?
and $350 for stainless steel frets. So
Doesn't
now
have
we're at
the rotor blades
$1,550.
on it. Yeah, I know.
Right. I'm just saying you're not
argument.
gonna get me to $2,400 from that guitar. I can get the fucking thing painted with that exact paint job, and I'm still under $2,000. Thank you for laughing at that, Krill. That was meant tongue in cheek. But I'm just saying, I wish them I'm glad they sold all 50. I wanted them to be super successful with it. I have no problem. But I'm always just going to give you my opinion on my show because that's just what I do. And they can sit there and say, that's an asshole for doing it or what. I don't care. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. You know, it's just
you're not affiliated.
Yeah, I'm not affiliated.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, that this is what I would do. And what I would like to see from them would be something more conservative that addressed something of the more modern.
And again, the one thing that I can say
Yes,
is
Chef.
they launched the whole company on their least desirable model. Maybe I could say that. All right.
Well, why would you do that?
Because I think that's basically what they did. I think they launched.
No, I'm saying why? But you don't think it's they don't think that's their least desirable. You're saying you think that's it.
No,
they do.
I think they do.
Well, that's always good. That's a great business model to come out with your worst foot forward.
I know. So it's always going to get better.
We can only
instead of doing great BC Rich guitars and then outsourcing them to China and ruining a company like BC Rich has been ruined. They're trying to go the opposite.
See, I don't know if doing overseas ruins a company. What ruins the company is that the company puts its priority in that. And to me, a lot of that bullshit starts from the top, not so much from the actual going overseas. But yeah, I mean, if a company wants to stay USA, it still hasn't fucked up Fender. Fender cares a lot about their USA shit, so they didn't stop it, you know. It didn't fuck up Jackson, who is now owned by Fender, still makes USA shit, and it's good. But what happens is the price gets up there.
I know it's
so
tough.
when I used to manage West LA Music, we carried a lot of Dean guitars.
R9 or an R0, one of those. Do you think those are even anywhere close to what they're charging for, like the Gibson R9?
Well, see, okay, so an R9 and an R0, or an R8, which I think is good, and an R7 is good. I like the R6. All of those are great guitars. Are they the best guitars on the market?
A quick good night. I gotta.
Oh, okay, Chuck. Thanks so much for popping in. I'll wrap with you tomorrow.
I'll see you guys tomorrow night, gentlemen. Thank you, David. All right, gents.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
So, all those things are great guitars, but you're not selling that guitar to a guy who's playing for a short amount of years, or who thinks that kind of stuff. Who thinks the 80s stuff is cool. The guy who wants the Les Paul is a guy who either grew up on Led Zeppelin, who grew up on those classics, and now he's a doctor, he's this, he's that, and he's buying guitars, and he likes that expensive guitar. But go out to a gig, go out and watch bands play, and tell me how many R9s you see out there playing gigs.
There's none.
You're not.
Right. You're not going to see it because people aren't playing.
What's the price of an R9?
Like it's probably 9,000.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my point. And now even a Les Paul, Les Paul standards.
The R9s are for the guys that wish they could have a real 1959 Les Paul.
Yeah, they're the professional guys out there, make money, and just want a guitar to fucking sit around their house and play. They're not. I mean, now they're like, if you're a professional musician, you're playing an R9 going out. If you're out there playing in a signed band, but if you're out there you're just a fucking guy that plays in a local band. You're not playing your R9 out on the fucking gigs. I'm sorry. It ain't happening. Mm-hmm. You're playing a working man's guitar. Strats, Tellys. You'll play like a Les Paul, like a regular Les Paul. But yeah, and that's the whole thing. So when you get into $2,500, you're not going to see that guitar being played out at gigs. Who's going to go, unless they're playing in a Hairman 80s band where you're making $5,000 a night? No one's going to go take a $2,500 fucking 80s guitar out to a gig. Am I wrong?
I don't know for sure.
So what happens is, and just so you understand, when people sit there and say, well, how do we fix that? Well, what you do is you go to Indonesia. You tell them to make the fucking guitar in Indonesia, and you sell it for $4.99. And now you have young kids all over the place playing them and having your headstock where kids are bobbing their heads at shows. And that's why those guitars are out there. And then if the adults in the room want it, they'll go out and buy the real one. So, the people that sell the guitars overseas are not looking to sell 50. They're looking to sell 50,000.
I know it. And that's where they don't want to fall into the Rob Chapman thing.
Well,
You know
Rob Chapman's Rob Chapman because Rob Chapman's Rob Chapman.
I know, and they don't want to fall into that.
But G&L's not Rob Chapman, and G&L does a fucking great tribute series. They make a ton of money off that.
G&L has a great reputation, and Rob Chapman has a very messed up reputation.
Well, because Chapman doesn't even have his own factory, and they kept on saying, "Oh, we changed factories." So that's not a real guitar company. And I understand these guys didn't buy a factory either. Obviously, we have somebody ghost making for these guitars. I mean, that's what Grover Jackson did for years with all the Friedman guitars were Grover Jackson for the first 3 years. So everyone understands how the business works. So when you sit there and say, well, we don't want to, it's like, well, if you're going to build a factory and you're going to try to develop so you have to build X amount of guitars a year, that's fine too. But if you're just going to build 50 and it's a hobby, that's all it is. I mean, because you can't make a.
It is a hobby. They're all financially fine. They're not trying to do it for money. They're trying to do it so their listeners can participate with them.
That's cool.
In their hobby,
I think that's cool.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're trying to do it for fun.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wish them then as much success as they can with it, that they sell out of everything they make, and everything they don't sell, please give it to Joe. Joe likes those guitars. He told me before the thing. He said that
it's a beautiful looking guitar. It is very beautiful looking.
Joe's into the 80s stuff.
It just depends. Yeah, it just depends.
Hey, 80s was my decade.
I agree. Like I said, I just
kind of tacky though. The graphic and those dots on the fretboard.
We were saying all nice things about this all night. Now Krellby had a. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, I'm with you. Look, I'm not saying, again, that's because, now, does that mean that 21-year-old Krellby wouldn't play that guitar? He would have owned 4 of them at 21.
You'd be surprised. I wasn't really into
Speed for Hire says, I hope
I'm
it's
talking.
not Galvin in San Diego making them.
Galvin? What about?
Yeah, who's Galvin? Who is that? Is that a company down there?
That's Will's Easy Guitar. Will.
Oh, you know what's funny about Will's Easy Guitar? They have that nose thing where you hold it up to your face and it drains your nasal with water. He's in one of those. He's in one of those commercials. He's like, oh, you gotta clean all that stuff out of your nose. Yeah,
like a fucking neti pot. Who's this?
Yeah, no, it's like an automated. It works like a neti pot, but it's like an automated thing that blows the friggin' shit up in your nose. And
yeah.
Well, I remember he demoed that on his channel once, but he's ended up in a commercial though.
Yeah, he's in the Navage commercial.
I got barely 2 hours before I got to get back into bed.
Oh, go ahead. We're gonna call it anyways. I just wanted to comment on Rich real quick. He said one guy paints those red stripes on the Badlands. They're all different, like tiger stripes. Does that make it worth more to you?
They have one.
I don't know.
They have one guy that's their painter.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying is, does that make it for me? Like, would that mean like, oh, none two are going to be the same? Yeah, I don't know. Then I want to see the one I'm going to get first.
You know, the thing is, it's always hard buying a guitar online. You want to? Would any of you guys buy a car without driving it around the block? You know, right. So to buy something online, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's easier to return than a car.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight. We're gonna run this one down, and Joe needs to go, and I'm tired. I might go smoke a cigar. I haven't decided yet.
I didn't sleep too well and had to get up early this morning.
So I guess I'm fired from making top 10 lists from now on.
No, keep them up. I thought it was good.
Oh, good.
I thought it was good. Joe didn't like it because I'm just kidding. We all hated it, but we like it. It's funny though, so we'll do them. Hold on, Al Pacino just called.
Fuck you, Dave.
All right, as long as I understand how he feels about me. All right, everyone, we want to thank you for coming. I want to thank Zim for being here, and tonight was a great show. And thanks for sharing your insight on your YouTuber compadre's guitar.
No problem.
Very good. Krellbaugh, thanks for coming here. Thanks for being here. Joe, thank you very much.
Hey, Dane, next time you talk to Phil, tell him what I said next week. Gladlands by Glary.
I know, right?
He'll get a kick out of that.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, he'll get a kick. All right. No, I'm just kidding. All right, everyone. Where's my goodbye show? Oh, there it is. All right.
Good night,
we all
everyone.
good, guys? All right. Very good.
Very good.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.
Goodbye.